Oh, what's up, Kincaid? You know what time it is by chance?
Oh, would you look at that? It's Braap o'clock.
Oh, how convenient.
Welcome to episode 2. This is the series where I go on a ride with a different guest in each episode. We talk about life, racing, achievements, and much more as we Braap along. This series is made possible by Cardo, the in-helmet intercom system that allows us to chat while we ride. You can save 10% on Cardo units using the code KP10. Today, I'm here in Idaho, joined by Cody Webb, a man who really needs no introduction, but he's getting one anyway. Cody, you're the 2010 National Trials Champ, 3-time National Endurocross Champ, 2018 Super Enduro World Champ, along with a 6 days gold medalist for Team USA. Thanks for being here today after 2 brutal rounds of back-to-back Endurocross.
Yeah, I mean, I like riding motorcycles, so why not come out? You reached out to me a couple weeks ago about doing this. Clearly, you've done your homework about me. You even nailed some of the dates right. I'm impressed by that. Gold medal at 6 days, I don't talk about that much. It was a club team. It's not, I wasn't trophy team, but I guess it's still an achievement in itself. Really cool opportunity. But yeah, I thought this would just be a super fun thing to do, and I think people would enjoy it, so why not?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Stoked you were down to come out in the mountains today. Tell me quickly just about how your weekend went at Endurocross before we get on the trail.
Yeah, Endurocross wasn't my best performance, but I was actually really happy with the second night of racing. I just feel like I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things. It's been quite a big undertaking with the whole Yamaha adventure, kind of trying to run my own program and team and do it at like a level I feel happy with. So most of my effort's been into building my bike and not so much racing it. So right now I feel like Weston Pike out there in Supercross, like racing my way into shape as the season goes on. So I expect it to be a little bit better, but you know, the other guys have been doing their homework. So I'm trying to rely on my natural talent, and that doesn't seem to work so much anymore.
Well, it was super fun getting to watch the race last night. That was the first pro Endurocross I've ever seen. So impressive getting to see that up close.
Yeah, the intensity was high last night. I'm looking for a nice, good, easy trail ride. Enjoy it and see if we can find out there today.
I think we can probably make that happen for you.
Sick, killer.
All right.
Who's leading out? Who's our trail boss?
Yeah, I'd say you lead it out.
Trail boss Webb.
All right, Cody. As we embark on this gorgeous trail ride here in Idaho, I'm going to take it all the way back to 2016 to get us going here.
2016, huh?
You were finishing a degree in mechanical engineering at San Jose State while also hunting for a 3rd Endurocross title. Meanwhile, I was ski bumming, living in the woods at Mount Hood, Oregon in a 6x12 cargo trailer, working as a waiter and snowboarding every chance I had. But I vividly remember one night, one camp spot I had where it was so dark and eerie and spooky. I was cooking dinner outside my trailer, and all I could do was lock myself in that trailer as quickly as possible, just terrified of bears or whatever other wildlife there might be. And now we're gonna go 10 years farther back to 2006, when you were training under Jeff Aaron. I heard you had a similar experience when he made you sleep in a tent outside and everyone else was in the comfort of a camper. And you didn't get a lick of sleep because of fear of bears that night.
I don't think there actually was any bears. They just put it in my head and I was a little kid and I had the same exact fear.
So in the nearly 20 years since then, with all of your experience riding and training in the mountains, have you had any scary encounters with wildlife?
I've had one bear encounter on my mountain bike. Oh, and a mountain lion encounter on a mountain bike. So I've had two. Damn. I've had 2. I guess the first one, that was a mountain lion one when I was still in Northern California. And I had a really killer mountain bike trail during COVID that may or may not have been legal. And I had my handsaw and I was gonna go clear it out a little bit. And there was like an old hiking path. And as I'm riding my e-bike actually up to the mountain bike path, or the old hiking path to clear out a little bit of trail. And sure enough, a huge cat was like trotting on the fire road and then right up to where I was gonna go. Oh, needless to say, I never went mountain biking there again. I'm like, nope, I don't want nothing to do with that big old kitty.
I think I might be more scared of a cat than a bear.
Yeah, me too. So the bear encounter It was in Colorado. I was kind of out by Golden mountain biking, so both times were mountain bikes. And it wasn't too bad. It was a little black bear. We were cool with each other. He went above the trail, and we just, you know, respected each other, looked at each other for a sec, and then I went around the corner slowly, keeping an eye on him, and then sprinted. So, yeah. But he was cool. We were cool.
I've seen a handful of black bears, but I'm still hoping to never see a grizzly.
Yeah, well, I don't think we have them in Colorado, so I'm safe there. Maybe north of where I am by Wyoming, but...
So both experiences were on a mountain bike.
On the mountain bike. I kind of tagged a grouse once with my number plate, but that's just a little bird, you know, it didn't scare me as much. He was fine. I kissed him. I kissed him on accident.
I had a buddy hit a cow on a trail a few years back. That was an interesting one.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's pretty scary. Cows don't move very well. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, for sure. So you grew up with a background in trials, and your dad Kip was a professional trials rider, correct?
Yep, yeah.
So I heard that, you know, your mom thought real dirt bikes, for lack of a better term, were too dangerous, and you never had one growing up. How much of a battle was that throughout your youth, and what did your dad have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really nothing that never like crossed my mind, because I was just a full-board trials rider. Like, my whole goal was to be world trials champion, and it was just all I knew. And we didn't have streaming services or the ability to watch Supercross. Like, I grew up kind of in the sticks a little bit, and I still remember just like only having like antenna TV. So I was only aware of what I had on VHS and what we did on the weekends. So I knew about motocross, but when I was super young, all I cared about was trials. And then the Endurocross thing kind of started taking off, and then I'm seeing David Knight and watching all that stuff, and then I obviously knew who Taddy was, and then he killed it at you know, Erzberg, and that his whole career just like exploded from there. So for me, it was like, once I saw Taddy and David Knight doing all this stuff, I was like, damn, this is something I should be trying to do. So, and that's when my mom was like, oh, dirt bikes are dangerous. And so I did Endurocross on the trials bike in 2007. And the next year I bought oh, look at that on the side of the trail, right?
Yeah, pretty wild, right?
Yeah. The next year in 2008, I bought a KTM like 2 weeks before the final round of Endurocross. And I was one spot away from qualifying. I was like pretty hooked from there on out. So, and for me, it was like something new and refreshing. I rode trials so much, and then I'm like struggling, you know, with like getting the improvements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then I got on the dirt bike literally every time I rode, I felt like I was getting better. So it was something new and exciting, and I was still focusing on trials, and I don't know, here I am now. Won a couple championships. Ooh, that's a little risky for your average guy to the right there coming out that rock ledge. But yeah, I don't know, dirt bikes were dangerous, but look where I am now. Seemed to work out.
Absolutely. So you just didn't even realize at the time what you were missing out on. It wasn't like, Mom, can I get a dirt bike? You were just stoked on the trials experience at that point in time.
Yeah, that was my really only focus. And then Endurocross and seeing Taddy have so much success at Erzberg is kind of what started opening my eyes up to trying something new.
So what was it, 2007, your first time on a full-size bike? I think it was an RMZ 250 trail riding?
Yeah, it was like the end of 2007 maybe. And I rode with Scott Summers, who, you know, the legend with the XR 600 photo picking up a 600. He was racing GNCCs on those bikes back in like the 90s or something. But yeah, I rode in Kentucky, and I think I was pretty good right off the bat because he was impressed by me. So yeah, I was a complete goon for a while.
I read that in that experience you rode that bike in trials boots, and yeah. I read that you said you felt like a squid doing so.
Yeah, I couldn't turn. I think I was still wearing like trials pants. I don't even know if I had dirt bike gear. I had a helmet I think I borrowed from someone, and yeah, it was, I didn't look the part for a while.
So I'm curious how you know, either ignored or overcame that feeling of, like you said, feeling like a squid. And I ask this because I think for the average person who doesn't have a background in dirt biking, you know, you at least had this trials background, it can be a really intimidating sport to get into, especially for fear of not having the right gear, worrying what people think, and it just being, yeah, an intimidating sport to begin. So just talk a little bit about on that experience of kind of overcoming that.
Yeah, honestly, you're not wrong there, you know, like if you think about it, there's a lot of sports out there where it's kind of like a rich man sport. It's hard to do at like a budget level and do it right. So the biggest thing I think is getting like good protective gear right off the bat. It's better than looking good. Like you can easily get used gear from stuff. I'm always giving like pants away to my buddies and whatnot. I'm like, oh, just buy a jersey, that's cheap. But to me, like the two most critical things when it comes to getting dirt bike gear is getting a good helmet that you feel safe in, and some good boots. From there, whatever, who cares what you look like? But I feel like more people care about having the cool Fox or Alpine Star jersey that Jet Lawrence and Ken Roxon's wearing versus like getting good boots and actually having the right protection.
Right. Oh, I slid that route bad.
Dude, I'm like, it's kind of gnarly through some of these sections.
Yeah. Sorry, give me one moment here to catch up.
Oh, you got hung up.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm making sure Monty's gonna get through this too. He hung up same spot.
I'm warming my hands up. I'm waiting for you guys.
Alrighty.
What is it? It's maybe 40 degrees out this morning, huh?
If that, yeah. Yeah, definitely a little slick today.
Well, I gotta focus. We have to focus right now. The trail's pretty technical.
Right? It's a little bit different dynamic doing an interview while you gotta ride.
I know. I gotta be all focused. Start rambling.
I'm gonna take a quick goggle wipe while we're at it.
He's committing to you guys for the shots right now. We got Monty with us. Was Monty on the last one too?
Not the last episode of this I've done, but we've done a lot of ripping in the mountains together. He'll always come out and impress, but he's a moto guy at heart.
It shows. He's on the Honda in the forest.
Yep.
I guess you can say the same thing about me on a Yamaha, but I'm helping making their off-road bikes better.
There you go. Alrighty.
There you go, Monty. You know what sucks is all these are the guys in the back. If I'm mountain biking with super fit guys, it's like you wait for the straggler to catch up, and the moment they're there, everyone takes off again, and the guy's still trying to recover.
Yeah. You know what my buddies call that?
What's that?
You break.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned trying to qualify for Endurocross on a trials bike.
Yeah, they used to allow that back in the day.
Oh, it's not even allowed anymore.
No, yeah.
How'd you feel lining up on that bike in comparison to all the big bikes?
Quite nerve-wracking, but no one knew what they were doing back then at all. So it kind of worked out because I can ride through all the obstacles, get a bad start, and, you know, make my way through the pack from there.
Gotcha. So if they were allowed today, would anyone be on them?
They would get royally smoked. We have gotten too good. Endurocross has evolved like crazy since 2004 or whatever for the first one.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, watching you guys last night up close was so impressive.
Yeah, and then like you're in the stands, but then if you even go and like do track walk or something and see what we're doing, you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This is, I'm even more impressed now, you know?
Absolutely. So, 2014, you won your first Endurocross title.
Yeah.
Ending Taddy Blazusiak's, 5-year dominant championship run?
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I was pretty motivated that year for sure. Oh, here's the big log you guys were talking about.
Yep. So, I had intended to bring a saw to cut this log, and I completely forgot it.
Oh, man, I know.
Bad trail steward. It was my intent to be a good trail steward.
This looks hard to even get over it. I want to try it, but I don't want to crash in front of you. I'm going to take the outside line here.
Alrighty.
I'm going to try not to roost you.
Alright. There we go.
Ooh, a little log on the exit of this line too.
Yeah, it's definitely a little slick, tacky push here. And it is certainly slicker than yesterday.
Yeah, well, it rained last night for those of you who are listening now. We were discussing our plans for today.
Man, I got through the part that I struggled with yesterday easy, and now I'm stuck on the second part.
Makes for better content. I'm getting all this right now. If you're
We were supposed to be huffing and puffing, cutting a log down.
You're just huffing and puffing, pushing your bike now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got a full moto guy behind you. He's contemplating why he's even here with us right now.
Hell yeah, Monty.
This is good. I got the chance to warm my hands up now. For those of you who are aware of Raynaud syndrome, I have it, and it's terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be huffing and puffing speaking now.
A little regroup. This is real. This shows it's a real deal, you know?
Yes, sir. Nicely done.
Yes, sir. We all right?
We're all right.
All right, we're good. We're good. For those of you watching my GoPro angle, don't judge the lack of hand guards. It's I made a last-minute change this week, and now I can't run my hand guard on the front brake, and it looks dumb to only run it on the clutch.
Although you'd have a much warmer clutch finger.
Yep.
What did we just talk about, Cody? You don't have to look the coolest.
Yeah, you don't gotta look the coolest. I was too worried about looking cool, guys. Now it's hurting me, hurting the fingers. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, there's some spin going on. All right, so back to this 2014 title conversation. I read that you had said in a couple interviews you won that title thanks to confidence.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if there came a point in your pro career where confidence became more responsible for building bike skill and speed as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, it turns into the mental thing, right? Like, I always had the technical capability because of the trial side of things, but then I started cross-training a lot and riding moto like 2 times a week every week. And coming from trials, like, I didn't have any of that intensity. So, like, me going out and starting to ride all the moto stuff just drastically improved my speed and aggression. That was hard right there. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yes. I was trying to stand the whole time and not roost you.
Oh, yeah, I was on my seat there.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I got that confidence. I just started doing all those motos, got faster, and the next thing you know, like, I was putting the pressure on those guys. And then I won 3 of the 4 races to finish out the 2013 season, and you know, I broke my foot that year, and if I hadn't broken my foot, I'm pretty sure I would have won that championship as well. So, you know, I was just putting like a lot of effort in at that time. I really liked that bike and engine on the Beta 2-stroke that year, so things just kind of fell in place for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to, you know, end such a dominant run of a champion and do it thanks to confidence and believe in yourself to that level is hugely impressive and pretty inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, all the top guys right now are so good, like, especially in Endurocross. Like right now, Tristan and Johnny have like phenomenal speed, right? But everyone else is honestly about as good as each other. It kind of just depends on the track layout and like where their mental game is that night.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little hung up there too. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, it was like, do I stay high? Do I stay low?
I was trying to stay high and the rear wheel just barely slid that route.
Yeah, I literally almost did the same thing. I was like, if I stay high, there's a chance I lose it and I fall back down. Or if I go low, I was like, I could fall in that rut and hook it. I went for the rut. That's for the years of doing this, you know.
Absolutely. It's fun to watch.
Everyone, it's slippery, guys. Like, it is not. You can see how much I'm like picking it apart. Like, I'm like standing, like no aggressive gas, like
For sure.
trying to climb up that stuff. Monty needs to ride this bike. This bike's good.
I keep trying to get him to go Blue Crew.
Yeah.
He's a diehard Honda boy, so he thinks.
So he thinks. Until he rides my bike and he's gonna be like, what the hell? What am I doing on that thing? But this one's got some tricks up its sleeve.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't run out of gas on this loop, warm my hands up. Do we hear him? No. He's definitely stuck on that route.
Oh, there's a Honda.
He's on that route, guys. That thing was gnarly.
Cut to Monty's POV right now. All right, well, while we're catching our breath here and Monty's getting over that route, you know, I think it's easy here in 2025 to say, you know, Cody Webb has a degree in mechanical engineering and is a full-time professional racer, but I imagine it didn't come nearly that easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, things seemed easy then.
Well, so what prompted that initial push back in 2007 to enroll in Cabrillo Community College? And then nearly 10 years later, when you already had 2 Endurocross titles under your belt, and from the outside perspective, you were already a successful full-time racer, what prompted you to make that push to finish your degree at San Jose State in 2016?
Yeah, I don't know, my whole life, my parents like, you can live at home if you go to school. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll save money. So I was just saving money, going to school, riding, and you know, at like 15 years old, I had like a salary to ride trials. So I thought I was big head honcho, but then, you know, we really weren't paid that much as trials riders. But as a 15-year-old, it was pretty dialed. And then, so yeah, I was still riding, and I went to school because that's what my parents kind of want me to do, and figured I should do that kind of stuff, right? So I wanted to do something relevant to riding, which is mechanical engineering. My dad's a diesel mechanic, so he's like, don't do what I do, it's a curse. So I was like, okay, well, what do? I do something similar, but I get the education to back it up. So I did mechanical engineering, and yeah, I went to community college for like 5 years. So I was racing, and I think I took like 1 semester off. Pretty sure 1 semester off, maybe, the whole time. So picked away that. I got 5 associate's degrees by the time I left.
Oh, wow.
Cabrillo, just because of all the prerequisites you need. And then I went to state school at San Jose State, and 3 years there. My first semester was probably the worst. I did like 3 5-unit classes, and it was brutal because like with those you have a lab, and so it was tough. And then from there I was like maybe around 10 to 12 units the rest of, so I was like minimal side of full-time student. And then I was always setting up night classes on Thursday night. And the local fairgrounds in San Jose used to have a motocross track, so I'd go to school all morning, leave school, go to the motocross track, put in like 3 motos, and then just like show up to like a night class on Thursdays all sweaty and nasty. And at the time I was also road biking a ton, so I'd like leave on a lunch break and just go like hammer out on a road bike for like an hour and a half loop. And I was riding with a buddy of mine that was like a ex-pro downhill rider, so he would just like destroy me with like his monster quads. So even though it was like a lot of work, you know, I would spend all day at school. Like any time in between classes, I was doing homework. And if I had the bigger gap, you know, on Thursdays, I'd go ride motos. And then other times during the week of the big gap, I'd just be on my bicycle. So it was just like, I had no other care in the world. Like it was just school and ride and train.
That's a pretty incredible commitment.
It sounds like it was bad, but it was almost easier because now I'm like family, dad of 2, own a home, like a rental home, and I'm always like I'm touring too many places, and then all I have is 2 focuses. So it was easier than now.
That's a cool way to look at it.
And all I had to do before was take care of myself. Now I got to take care of a family too.
Yeah. Monty, you solid? Stuck on that route?
Oh yeah, we're cutting that in.
Way to be.
It's going in the cut. Maybe by the time I get back to the van, I'll get warm toes again.
So Cody, I heard a couple interviews of yours and different videos of yours where you've talked about how your dad Kip was pretty hard on you when you grew up racing.
Yep.
One of the most interesting examples I found was a national back in 2006 in Oklahoma, where he was pretty upset at a 6th place finish and ended up back in a rental car into a tree, and you guys didn't speak much on the drive home.
Yeah, he was pretty mad. I just threw it away at that round. And yeah, he's all pissed and we left, and he just like backed straight up, backed the rental car into a tree, and yeah, not a word was said the rest of that trip to each other. It was his fault. I wasn't driving. There was another time at one point, I don't think it was when we were mad at each other, or it could have been, I don't know. But my helmet was like on the back of someone's truck or something, and he backed up and ran over a helmet too and broke a helmet, so. But I don't remember on that one if he was mad or not. It might have been an accident.
How'd you handle that, you know, that tough love growing up, and how did it impact the racer you became, and more importantly, the father you've become?
Yeah, I don't know, there was definitely times where it was not that much fun when you're always mad at each other, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful for it, right? Like, it just made me like a lot stronger mentally and tougher. Maybe my wife will say otherwise, but
oh man, I just crossed, dude. This is so slippery.
It is insanely slippery. But yeah, like, oh, I tried to get out of that rut, didn't get out of it.
I just saw you slipping up there too.
Try not to roost you guys.
Oh, I'm not even close to getting roosted by you, Cody. I gotta catch up here.
Holy moly, this is nasty.
Yeah, this is gnarly. I might be here for a moment. I'm just throwing roost at Monty right now.
Now I can think that I got out of that. But yeah, like, there was a lot of tough love, and I know he wanted just the best for me and expected a lot out of me, so.
We might be jumping out of cardo distance real quick. Let me just catch up here. Holy cow.
Was all this snow up here yesterday too?
Nope, this was slick, but it wasn't snow. It's definitely much worse. I'm just trying to get a drive here.
Just put her in fourth. Oh, my chain is disgusting. Oh. Wow.
Thank you for your patience. Yeah, you're like, I'm worried about roosting you. I was like, Cody, I can't see you anymore.
I can't see you. I was trying to I tried riding out of that rut at one point and just got sucked right back into it.
I got a little hooked in it yesterday, but it was like you could still just crawl out of it.
And look at my chain.
What chain?
What chain?
Yeah, pretty bad.
It just looks like a brownish belt instead of a chain. But I got up, I'm like, oh, I can actually think about what I'm talking about now. But yeah, it was tough love, but now it's like, I'm trying not to be as hard on my kid, but he doesn't really have, like, my older son doesn't really quite have the same interest in motorcycles I did, right? So, but then my daughter is like insane about it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, you know, I want to like support them, whatever they want to do. Like, I played basketball too growing up. I feel like it's good to do team sports too on top of just motorcycles, which is pretty individual.
For sure, I agree with that.
We'll see how the rest of this goes now. Jeez.
So I've built this YouTube channel that's now a full-time job where I build dirt bikes and showcase that process. Monty, which way did we go? Left? Let me just pull out OnX for one brief moment. Yes, it is indeed right. Shout out Scott Harden for the trail recommendation. All right, so as I was saying, you know, this YouTube channel where I build dirt bikes and showcase the process is a full-time job where I feel like I never have enough time in the week, and there's always unchecked boxes on my to-do list. And you are in this very unique situation with Yamaha, where you are essentially doing your own R&D on the bikes you're racing.
And then for some reason I'm sharing it with everyone and having to do what you're doing as well. Oh, and trying to race them.
Yeah, exactly. So as someone, you know, with a mechanical engineering degree, have you found enjoyment in this process, or with the fact that you're also racing full time, does it make you miss that full factory effort?
Yeah, honestly, I really do enjoy it. Like, there's days where I for sure have burnout, or I got to a point kind of this year on the YZ250 where I'm like, I just can't get it to do what I want it to do. So, you know, there was some struggle there, but at the same time, I enjoy doing this stuff, and I found out there's so many diehard YZ fans I had no idea about.
Absolutely,
and they're like completely pumped on everything. So, you know, like, I know you've done some stuff with the YZ. I know B-Rad's done some stuff with the YZ. And then I've done the same stuff, gone away from that stuff. There's some snake oil out there too, I'd probably say, for sure. But, you know, I'm pretty stoked with the set that I ended up getting at the end. But it's no easy effort. And, like, I have factory support from Yamaha, but they don't have any tech or anyone to do stuff with the two-stroke at all anymore. Like, all that was left behind in 2007 or so. So now I'm at the forefront and pressuring them to do something about it. Who knows if they'll do anything, but it'd be nice if I'm doing all this for some sort of ultimate cause at the end game, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. To see how all of your efforts pay off, and to them actually, you know, showing that respect and the development and using it for something, I'm sure it would be incredible.
Yeah. Ooh, a little nasty through here.
Yeah, the snow's pretty freaking cool though.
Yeah, it's a nice dusting.
So, you've been referred to as the people's champ on a number of occasions, with the first example that comes to my mind racing the Hollow Point Hard Enduro this year on a 1995 WR250 you found on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And cutting a mullet to match.
It wasn't an impressive mullet, but it was an attempt.
Still counts.
Yeah.
And I would argue that your performance at Silver Kings, choosing to race the big bore YZ250F with that 280 kit in it, was equally as impressive. And I think you were in an incredibly unique situation here. I think about the top motocross and supercross guys, and you are never going to see one of the best guys innovate or test something new or interesting in a true race environment. And we've had the privilege of watching you do that at the highest level. You know, last year at Silver Kings, I raced a KTM 200. This year at Silver Kings, I raced a Stark Varg one of the days, both just to try something new.
Yeah.
But for me, there's a little less on the line than being a top level pro. So what's been your overall experience as you've chosen to race unique bikes at these events?
Yeah, it's like something fun to do. Like, I raced the 452 at Outliers, which no one's done on a hard enduro in quite some time now. And honestly, I rode it at Grinding Stone. I rode my bone stock YZ 450F motocross bike with a 19-inch wheel and tube, and I rode right up staircase easier than I've ever done in my entire life on Sherco or the YZ 250. And I was like, this bike could actually be pretty good. And then I raced it at Outliers just for the hell of it, and it really was not that bad. The chassis was too stiff. I didn't have my suspension, and the power's a little heavy. But let's see, what do we think here?
If we take a left here, that's going to lead us into that longer southern loop, or this starts the single track back.
If it was like 8 degrees warmer, I would turn left.
Yeah, and this is going to be greasy.
Monty's giving me a thumbs up. Yeah, we'll go right. Yeah. So anyways, the 95 WR project, it was like something I wanted to do right from the beginning. The moment I did the Yamaha thing, I was like, I could ride something really cool and fun and do like build videos similar to what you do, right? So I just thought it'd be a cool idea to rip it at a regional event. And I think, honestly, weirdly enough, I almost could have won if I didn't have such a terrible first lap. I was like, I couldn't ride that bike, save my life. And the clutch is really bad on that bike. But the engine was not bad. But the 13-ounce flywheel weight from Steely was all the difference I needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I watched a good portion of that video with you having to bash that freaking chain guide back.
Oh,
using your engineering skills with the fulcrum.
Make a fulcrum, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then this, I rode the Silver King 283 kit, but the mapping was way off. I need to do it again, but I still need to order my bikes next year. So I don't know. I need to call Yamaha tomorrow and be like, what are we doing, boys? What are we doing? 450 Johnny Walker style? Or
Well, yeah, and I saw some of your YouTube comments where guys asking why you weren't on the 450, and you said the Yamaha is just too much, right?
Yeah, I can't. Like, I think that Enduro model Triumph is a pretty good platform, and Yamaha's made changes for 26. So, but this year's bike is just, you have one.
Yeah, I have an FX.
They're
a
gnarly.
24. Yeah, they are.
They're gnarly. So, maybe next year, but I don't know.
All right. Hands warm?
I don't know, warm enough. The good thing is I can actually look out to the left and see some nice views out there. It is pretty nice out here.
Right, isn't it spectacular?
Yeah.
Idaho is a beautiful place. So, obviously, I'm no pro rider, but I enjoy a good race. I raced the Montana Cross Country Series. I ended up winning that series last year, and ultimately it came down to one position at one race.
Oh, wow.
And I would not have gained that position had I not made the decision to pee my pants for the first time on a dirt bike. And I was listening to one of your Two Wheel Tuesday episodes where you guys were talking about that. And I'm sure you've done it on numerous occasions. But do you have any examples where it was actually make or break for a race or an event, or impacted the outcome?
Man, I don't know if I've ever had it make or break like you have, but I've definitely done it, and when it's raining, it don't matter. But if it's not a rainy event and you do it, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while, but like lately with the hard enduros, we'll get lined up in a bottleneck, and it's like, well, I'm here now. I'm not going to try and pass these guys. I might as well take a quick breather and not pee my pants.
Yeah, it's such a difference in mentality in hard enduro. Like, well, I guess I didn't realize that you have to deal with like the same bottlenecks and everything. But yeah, Silver Kings this year, I mean, for me, there was a spot where I was bottlenecked for like a solid half hour. I FaceTimed my mom and said hello. A little dicey little rock section, couple lines here.
Yeah, I was like, well, where's the kind of the main line?
You said that you feel like David in David versus Goliath, and you won't be Goliath until you win Erzberg.
Yeah.
You are to date the only American to ever podium at Erzberg, with a second place back in 2016 and a third place in 2017. And not to date you, but it's been almost 20 years since your first ever pro win on a dirt bike. I know that was trials, but still, that's unbelievably impressive, the duration of your career. So I'm wondering, do you have intentions to go back to Erzberg, and is that still a goal on your plate that you think is attainable?
Man, those guys are so damn good now, and I'm good too, and I know that, but I gotta be a little realistic. So if I'm going back to Erzberg, a podium would just be absolutely insane there and be like a win to me again. So a lot would have to go in favor for me to win there ever again. Yeah. Or, I know not that I ever won there, but we gotta be a little realistic, guys.
Yeah, because Erzberg, there were 2 years missed due to COVID, right?
Yeah, and then one year I was actually riding really well leading up to it, but I got hurt in the prologue, and I got hurt in the prologue twice of that stupid race.
Didn't you break a foot there?
Yeah, I broke a foot and tore my MCL, and then last year I did something to my knee, I don't know exactly what it was, and also bruised my scaphoid in my wrist. And then I came back to riding, and that's why I missed Endurocross last year, is because I kept getting worse. I got 2 MRIs, and I ended up having to put a screw in my scaphoid because the bone bruise wouldn't heal.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they were basically said I was going to get a stress fracture, so.
So has missing a couple of those Erzberg efforts been due to injury? Because I was curious how much. Erzberg seems like a very difficult event logistically. Like, does a lot of that come down to like sponsors and ability to get support as well, or has that not been the problem?
Yeah, part of that's that. With Sherco's a little tricky. You know, I got some support from the guys here, support from France, and then this year from Yamaha. You know, I got support from like the rally team guys that kind of sponsor Poltaras, but like, you know, there's still a bill involved with, you know, paying a mechanic there to come out and some of the parts and the bike rental side of things. So like, luckily Yamaha US forked out the few grand to get that done. So all I had to take care of was my accommodations, or my flight out there essentially. And I bribed Red Bull into paying for my hotel, so that worked out.
So do you hope to go back next year?
Yeah, that's the plan right now at this point.
Cool.
I was pretty mad about the whole fuel explosion thing, and I had a terrible bike setup in the prologue. I never should have put my hard enduro setup in, and then it really ruined my prologue run. So I basically went from like 60 something place to the top 20, had the fuel explosion, fell back to like 32nd, and then clawed my way back to 17th before I wasn't able to finish. So
that fuel explosion was gnarly.
People were like, I mean, I've had fuel in my mouth once before. I drank a little bit on accident, and like, you got fuel here and there, but like the fact that it went fully over my whole face and then like down my whole body, it was absolutely mental. It sucked.
Yeah, gnarly to come back from that and get back in the race. So props to you there.
Yeah.
Going back to when you were battling for titles with Colton Haker, I had read on a handful of occasions where he kind of edged you out just due to being a little bit more aggressive than you, and it maybe took you some time to develop that aggression in your racing.
Yeah.
So over the years, who have been some of your favorite competitors, some of your hardest competitors, and then also just, you know, your least favorite guys to race against?
Yeah, you know, I think some of my favorite competitors to be around, like personality-wise, Johnny Walker is awesome. Like, I enjoy hanging out with Johnny, whether we're racing or not racing off the bike. Like, he's just a super solid guy, and we've been around kind of almost the whole same time frame together. So, you know, super relatable.
Hey, let it eat on this right split up here real quick. Yeah, go ahead up the right.
Oh. And then, like, in terms of actual, like, respect and super impressive riding abilities would be, like, Tristan, you know? Like, I feel like I kind of, like, helped him get going, and then he just freaking ran with it and started kicking my ass, so. But I got him back a couple times last year and this year at Moab, so. But, like, I have a lot of respect for, like, his abilities and his, like, determination. He's a pretty gnarly guy, and he's one of the guys where I could be racing, and I pretty much do not anticipate him doing a dirty move to ruin my night.
Yeah, you just know that mutual respect is there.
Yeah, and like, I have fun a lot of times when I'm racing it. We're like hung up in a bottleneck somewhere. I'll just start talking shit. Yeah, in a friendly manner, you know.
I'm considering doing another hard enduro next year. The only one I've ever raced is still Silver Kings.
Yeah.
Between Grinding Stone and Moab, what would you recommend and why?
Grinding Stone is kind of gnarly. I'm gonna pull up right here to warm my hands up. I'm dying right now.
No worries.
The lack of hand guards is unreal. I mean, Grinding Stone's obviously freaking gnarly. Moab won't be as death-defying, but it's gonna beat you up more, I feel like. Like, the terrain is a lot more everywhere, so.
Gotcha.
Depends on if you want to risk destroying your bike with a really cool venue, or.
Which is Grinding Stone.
Yeah, I am in pain right now. I am honestly impressed with your knowledge and remembering things.
I appreciate it. You ever seen Hot Ones?
No, what's that?
It's a show where the interviewer, Sean Evans, interviews celebrities, athletes, musicians, whoever it may be, while eating progressively spicier wings.
Oh, I've seen the clips from that one, yeah.
I'm always very impressed by his knowledge of the guests, and I kind of like his interview format, so
yeah,
I wanted to try and recreate that on the bikes.
Yeah, you have some very knowledgeable, in-depth. I'm like, you did some research.
Shout out to my mom, she helped.
Nice.
Actually, it was really funny because she'll like wake up and watch YouTube videos in the morning, and she's always like looking to see if I posted a video. And then she was watching some of your stuff, like, you know, finding details and things. And she sent me a Snapchat one morning watching one. She's like, you might have some competition. I might start watching Cody's stuff in the morning.
No, come on, Mom. You can't do that. All right, so you did the research on me. I obviously haven't done enough research on you.
Well, I don't think you were supposed to do any research on me.
I wasn't, but now I'm curious. Like I told you last night, we were chatting. Before I even signed the YZ deal, I'm going through Kincaid's YouTube. I'm like, okay, and then I've seen some of B-Rad stuff, and I was like, all right, I think I can make this work. And I think I've gone through a lot of the same trials and tribulations you have. But how did you get your whole thing started? You mentioned ski, snowboard bum, and then it sounds like you got into mountain bikes, and now you're just a full moto head apparently, huh?
That's pretty much how it went. I still absolutely love snowboarding, and to be honest now, with dirt bikes having, you know, become, as much as they're still just fun, they are part of my living, obviously. So like, most things of what I do with dirt bikes are kind of work associated, even if I'm having a great time. So snowboarding is still like that, just total freedom for me. But anyway, I went to Montana State, went there so that I could snowboard as much as I could while getting a degree. And then mountain biked all through college, got my first dirt bike in a really long time right after college. And then just like fell in love with it, and then a couple years into that, bought like a cheap KX 125 just for fun, and like was like, I wonder if I can like learn how to do a top end. Like maintenance like scared the crap out of me. I remember having like a CRF 250 that needed a valve adjustment, and I was like, well, we're not doing that. And my brother's like, why not? And it just like, it was a wild concept to me, like actually going into a motor, right? And this was only like 5 years ago. So the projects just expanded. I bought a YZ250 that was blown up, and I did my first engine build, so it just kind of all went from there. And I time-lapsed that, put it on YouTube for no other purpose than like, oh, I might like want to watch this one day, this was fun, and forgot about it. And then like
forgot about it.
3 months later I looked and I had like 300,000 views.
Holy.
So I was like, huh, maybe I'll keep filming these projects. So it was literally just this like side hustle of like flipping bikes to start to make a buck on the side while I was like trying to buy a house. And then it grew to the point where like, you know, got a little more confident in front of the camera, got a little more comfortable with what I was doing, and slowly the idea of it becoming my becoming my job started to creep into my brain. So that was like the lead in to get to where I am now.
Yeah, I'm really like, I've always like posted race stuff on YouTube here and there, and then I was like, with the whole Yamaha thing, I'm like, man, I really need to make a name for myself with my brand. And like, my YouTube's not huge, but it's grown a lot just since this new endeavor. So I was like, you can provide such additional value and on top of just like race results, right? So now it's like, I'm putting all this stuff out, and I have like this weird dilemma now in my brain when I get to these races, because I go and everyone just only talks about YouTube and how much they love watching my vlogs, and I like, it's race day. I dropped one like the day before, and people are talking like, oh, I watched your vlog this morning, dude. Oh, so sick to what you're doing in the Rocky Mountain warehouse. And now it's like, what do? I still love racing, but like, I'm a little bit older. I don't want to take the risk I used to, and especially now with like as a dad. You know, it sucks being hurt. It sucks feeling like I can't like provide, and but I still have all the skills. But I do enjoy sharing all the stuff I'm doing, and like, it's fun stuff, and not everyone gets the opportunity to do it. And I think that's why like Seaboys TV or like that Cletus guy, like they're doing really cool stuff the average guy wants to do but can't do.
Right.
So I don't know, I enjoy just sharing the stuff, but now it's like I want to still race, but people almost like watching all the other stuff more. I'm like, dang it, I'm a racer at heart, but what do you guys want me to do? I can only do so much.
I think it just goes to show the, you know, the major value in both. Like, you see so many more pro racers starting YouTube channels because people want to see the personality and like be involved and know what's going on. And like you said, like, you know, I don't know if you've thought about how many more years you plan on racing professionally, but it's pretty cool that you're building this platform that you can continue using even after those days have ended.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, might as well keep doing this. When I'm done racing, I'll probably just sell my Instagram page to someone because I don't need that anymore, and just like do cool stuff on YouTube. Ideally, it kind of worked out well with the Yamaha thing, right? Like, I'm in the later stages of my career and trying to pioneer this whole thing, but from the get-go, everyone asks you, well, what are you gonna do when you retire? Like, what would you ride? What bike would you buy? And I'm like, I'll buy a YZ250 and a YZ450, and I'll have a track bike and a whatever the hell I want YZ250 bike. And I kind of made that happen earlier than I anticipated, obviously, but I want to be the guy who shows up to the moto track wearing like a flannel, some old helmet, and just absolutely shred. And everyone's like, who is this guy? Just shredding. I'll have good boots though. I'll have good boots.
Mike Plesty, who was the first episode, he owns Deja Moto. I don't know if you've heard of it, but suspension shop.
I know Deja Moto. Yep.
Super knowledgeable, talented guy, and he will show up on like his 501 at the moto track, and he'll swap the suspension out, but no one knows that, and he is just hammering. I mean, like, just will blow by me, and it's so impressive.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be, and then like people will start murmuring, and they're like, "Oh, I think that's Cody Webb."
How the hands doing?
The front brake or the throttle hand's good, but the clutch hand's getting cold right now.
Well, heck yeah, we'll do a little regroup at the trailhead, but seriously appreciate you coming out here to do this. It's been awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was fun. I like the whole concept. That's why I was in. I'm like, the people need something to watch.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, Cody, I had the opportunity to meet you for the first time at Silver Kings. You came out, you came to the after party, chugged out of the fender. You're super down to earth, super fun to meet you. And then to have this experience and you say yes to coming out and shooting this video, had an absolute blast ripping with you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was super rad. I just like what everyone are doing for off-road community, like promoting the Stoke. Did the fender chug twice at Silver Kings. We did it again last night. I had to, just to put it in my vlog, but you know, yeah, this is fun stuff. The trails were pretty good. A little chilly without the handguards. That's my only complaint of the day. Other than that, perfect conditions out there.
For sure. Sorry about the cold hands.
It's okay, it's me.
Thanks again to Cardo for making this possible. The in-helmet intercom systems are absolutely great to be able to chat on the trail like this. All of Cody's links to social media, his YouTube channel will be linked down below. Thanks again for being here.
Yeah, make sure you check it out, follow along. If you're following Kincaid, you're probably following most of my stuff too anyways. And yeah, I guess I might have to take advantage of this Cardo you gave me now.
Absolutely.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
I need to stop riding Yamahas.
Because you like them?
Yeah.
This thing's fun. You definitely don't have to shift this thing quite like a 250. Thank you for letting me try this thing. That was freaking fun. Nice work.
That's fun.